This program is funded by the European Union.
Hi, I'm Andy Spike, and my personal style is simple, timeless, and classy. Tijania Fashion gives me my personal style. They say you only live once, but if you do it right, once is enough. And that's why Tijania Fashion is enough for me. Visit Tijania Fashion today. For you deserve to be happy in the world of fashion.
To our audience worldwide, good evening and welcome to Gcci Business Matters. I am Malik M. Jallo. Since its establishment in Bretton Woods in 1844, the global monetary and financial system has been guided by those principles that were established post Second World War. This meeting or this convergence led to the establishment of the two sister institutions, the International Monetary Fund, the IMF, and the World Bank, which is made up of 5 or 4 institutions to lead the reconstruction of damaged nations from the war, while the IMF was set up to ensure that countries that are in need of balance of payment support, short-term adjustment situations, that they step in and provide the liquidity. But the international monetary system is not immune to crisis, and we have seen series of episodes that has confirmed this. In 1977, the crisis of Asia, which led to the fall of the Thai baht, that led to true contagion effect that spread across the Asian economies. The Great Depression is another episode, and the most recent, the global or the great financial recession of 2008, and not far, the COVID crisis exacerbated by the Russia-Ukraine war. This has led a lot of questions to come on shore concerning the viability, the strength of the monetary system to withstand such challenges. And one of the issues that emerged over the years is Islamic finance, and also recently Islamic insurance. Islamic banking is becoming a very attractive or an area that a lot of people, businesses and investors are paying attention to. What are the principles guiding Islamic banking and finance? What are the principles guiding Islamic insurance? Does it present an alternative to reduce the business cycle crisis that arise from the modern financial system and financial architecture? Does it provide an alternative to show us a better way of financing our transaction in terms of maintaining the strength of a currency over a period of time? As we have seen over the years, especially in 2023 to 2024, have fiat currencies suffer from inflation as a result of crisis, exogenous shocks around the globe. The guest in-house today is a well-founded, grounded in Islamic insurance. He has more than 28 years of experience in Islamic insurance, studied from the great institutions in Malaysia, which lays the foundation of Islamic insurance, and has left effect and make great impact across West Africa, from Nigeria to Ghana to Zambia and in Gambia, in terms of establishment, in terms of counseling, providing trainings and counseling and teaching Islamic insurance. And this person, who is in the best position to tell us exactly how he has impacted Islamic insurance across West Africa and in the Gambia, how he led the establishment and creation of Takaful. He will explain to us what all this means for the economy, for insurance itself, and how it supports people, low-income earners. How is it different from conventional insurance? And this person is no other than Mr. Juf. Mr. Juf, welcome to GCCI Business Matters.
Thank you, Malik. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Jërëjëf Serigne Touba Khadim Rasul. I'm pleased to be here. Thank you for having me here.
Great. And also in the studio is Mrs. Safi here, right?
Yeah.
And she is the marketing manager at West Africa Takaful. She will obviously guide us through the products. Ms. Safi, welcome to GCCI Business Matters.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Malik, thank you for having us.
It's great to have you guys here. Mr. Juf, please tell us a brief story. Who is Mr. Juf? And what is the impact that he has made in terms of Islamic insurance across the sub-region?
Thank you once again, Malik. I'm glad to be here and a friend to the media globally. I love speaking. I love influencing people. Information is power. When people get to know, they decide better. And that is what we want to find ourselves doing most of the time. As a person, as an individual, I taught for 6 years at the Anglican Training Center in Farafene, a boarding school. I have so many students in responsible positions now in the Gambia. From there, I went into conventional insurance, starting with Senegambia Insurance in 1989. I pray that late Babu Sisa is in Jannah today. He gave me the first opportunity to work for insurance. I worked for conventional insurance for 14 years, and that is what just giving me more comfort than anything doing Islamic finance, because I am in a position to actually challenge any conventional insurance company as to what they're doing opposed to what Islamic finance dictates. One is saying, we proudly say we also established medical insurance in the Gambia. The first medical insurance policy was designed by me, and the all-hand doctors around would bear me witness that I went to sit with them one-on-one to design a modality that they will accept medical cards from signed by me to see employees of institutions, and then bills are sent to us for settlement. And the beauty at the time was that people who have conditions that couldn't be handled locally, we evacuated them, and we had a case. Dr. Njai Pacha would tell you that he escorted one of my patients to Egypt. I've evacuated to Dakar, to Cote d'Ivoire when it was very good and all that. So that medical, when I moved from IGI Gamsa, thanks to by Ndongo Fall, he's still alive. We wish him good, long life and good health. He was somebody who would give me authority to do things under his supervision. So we are saying from Gamsta, I went to Great Alliance and carried the same policy with me, covering EDF, GASEM, GAMWORKS, Gambia Civil Aviation, GAMTEL. These are all the large institutions I was providing medical insurance for. And from whilst at Great Alliance, I was actually given a consultancy fee to train staff of GNIC at the time on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, so as to allow them to also establish medical insurance. And my assistant at GAMSTA went to establish the first Takaful for global under my consultancy too. So I still claim to be on top of medical. But fortunately, thereafter, I had a privilege to travel to Malaysia in 2003 to do my master's in management. This is what I went for. But because I'm an insurance person, I saw this Takaful everywhere in Malaysia. Wherever you go, you see Minara Takaful, the home of Takaful. And I asked them, what is Takaful? They say it's Islamic insurance. I said, excuse my language, what the hell does Islam got to do with insurance? Insurance is profit-making business. Why do you want to call it Islamic insurance? They say, wow, this one is Sharia compliant, Mr. Juf. So out of a very jealous mind, trying to defend the conventional insurance world that I came from, I said I wanted to see Takaful at work. So they took me to Takaful, Malaysia, the biggest in Asia. Meanwhile, I was attending the International Islamic University of Malaysia. And beyond any reasonable doubt, after going through all their technical departments, asking all the questions, I thought what they were claiming was too good to be true. But I realized that it was nothing but a fact. That yes, insurance could be done in a better way, and that is what Takaful is doing. When you go to school, you start from kindergarten, you go to primary 1, you go to primary 2, but you end up at university. So we are saying these subjects all have levels. So insurance, if it has a level, Takaful is the highest level, and people should consider that, yes, this is the one to accept.
So a little bit on that, because we will always be short of time here, and the profile is so magnificent. So tell us, how did it come how did you go about establishing Takaful here in the Gambia and in other countries? Yes,
so when I got convinced that it was so ethical, it was not so much to do with Islam, but so much to do with fairness and ethics. Where it says when you collect these monies from people, you pay all genuine claims. The rest of the money you cannot claim as a company to say it was profitable for you and your shareholders. This was very convincing. I decided to go back to my university and do my dissertation on Islamic insurance, saying Takaful, a model to establish Takaful in the Gambia.
So from what you have said, the difference between conventional and Takaful.
We'll come to that.
Great.
We'll come to that. What I'm saying is that I'm just giving you what conviction. When I saw them in practice, I realized it was too good to be left behind. I needed to bring this home. So I went back to my university and pleaded with my supervisor to allow me to do a research on Takaful. So I wrote my first book on Takaful, and the second book I wrote 24th of November last year, 2023. It was launched at the Coco Ocean Hotel. But the first one I wrote was on the research of Takaful with the intention of establishing it in Gambia. God being so good, I was privileged to have met the former president at his hotel, Sheraton Hotel in Malaysia, by tribe, Serer and Jola. I teased him and then ended up saying, I need your support. I want to establish this in the Gambia. We don't have it, and we are claiming to be 95% Muslim. Moreover, it's not only for Muslims. Then when I explained to him, he said yes, he was going to render support. And when I came back to the Gambia, I sent a copy of the thesis and a copy of the laws I got from Central Bank of Malaysia to him through the current dynamic protocol Alaji Sise. He gave it to him, and a task force committee was actually created by him, and they started meeting at the Central Bank every Tuesday from 2005 March to December 2006, when this draft law was presented to the House of Parliament by the then Vice President Aissatou Sede. This was passed into law. So if nothing, I would have held the pride that as an individual you've influenced the law of the land to accommodate Islamic insurance, which is Islam. So thereafter, I went about looking for shareholders. I went to Ghana, I went to Nigeria, all on my own. I was not getting people interested to participate, to buy shares, because I needed something like 15 million. A poor boy from Farafenni could not afford 15 million alone. I ended up not getting 5 people, 6 people, but almost about 18 people to establish the first Takaful, which is Takaful Gambia. I ran it for 6 years, and somewhere along the line, before the end of the 6 years, I found myself elbowed out. So God being so good again, I had an opportunity to take up the challenge of going to establish it in Zambia, the first Takaful in South Africa. The group that took me to Zambia is ZEPRI. They operate in Tanzania, Botswana, Mozambique, and all 9 countries. They have conventional insurance. The group, you can Google, you will see ZEPRI, Phoenix Assurance. And Phoenix, I'm calling ZEP because ZEPRI is a reinsurance company that provides the Takaful. But now I'm a consultant at their institute. I provide training too. Well, anyway, I'm saying in Zambia is 14 million population, 95% non-Muslims. When I came with God's support, I was able to establish takaful in their market, and my staff were non-Muslims, but before I left Zambia, 4 of them converted into Islam. I went to the World Takaful Forum in Dubai in 2016 to deliver a paper on Islamic insurance takaful. And the Nigeria that I went before, looking for shareholders who didn't know me then, now got to know me and decided to apply for 19. I was kidnapped to Nigeria to establish also Jais Takaful, the first Takaful insurance in Nigeria. Being a country of over 200 million and claiming to have 50% Muslim population, but yet still it was tough to establish because they thought I was coming to pollute their market.
Yeah, I think the profile is impressive, but actually, like we always say, the time is always short. I think you could have gone further and further.
Yes.
But we have a little bit of time left for this session, and Safi will have to come in. But first, I want to know, explain to us, what is takaful? What distinguishes it from conventional insurance?
Simple. People globally have always complained that insurance, oh, they are rogues, oh, they are thieves. You give them your money, you don't get anything back, they eat people's money. Takaful is coming to address this. With Takaful is coming to serve every member of society and is also coming to assist in financial inclusion. That is to say, the conventional will insure, let me take just one product that everybody knows about, that's motor insurance. The conventional will insure 5,000 vehicles. In a given year, only 100 got involved in an accident. They settled these accidents through the funds they collected. But the rest of the funds at the end of the year, they say it was a profitable year. This is shared between the company and shareholders. Islam comes to say, haram, that's not right. The money wasn't yours. You have the expertise to manage, to reinvest, to charge people, to do whatever with the funds to make sure that it sustains its obligations. But at the end of the day, if it is takaful, these 100 vehicles that you have paid, the rest of the funds, you are going to pay out zakat. Every 1,000 you put 25 aside to give to the needy. Every after the zakat obligation, you distribute the surplus to participants who have not suffered losses. When you go to conventional insurance, you are called a client. When you come to takaful, we honorably take you as a participant, somebody coming to participate in the creation of this wealth, in the creation of this fund, in the creation of this pool, which is used basically to pay claims, to pay commission to intermediaries, to pay retakaful or reinsurance, and then zakat. The rest is distributed. Then you ask yourself, Martin, you ask me, you claim to be charitable or what? What is that when you make profit, you give it back to the people? We are not charitable. Islam dictates that you should pay your worker even before his sweat gets dry. So therefore, on that principle, the very day you come to us to say, I am Malik Jallo, I have this Mercedes-Benz, it's 1.2 million I bought it for, I want it insured under comprehensive, we're saying to you, the same questions that you would have faced with conventional insurance on the proposal form is what we are going to ask you. You answer the same. But we have a plus. There is a clause at the bottom of our proposal form which says, Malik, please consent that these funds that you're paying us, we are taking 30% of it now to form part of our management expenses. So 30 is taken, 70 goes to an account. So with takaful, it's an obligation that we must maintain 2 accounts. An account for the participant, which is the 70% is going in, and an account for the operator, that is shareholders and owners of the company. So we start with our capital. Capital in Gambia is 15 million, but West Africa Takaful started with a capital of 30 million. By experience, I decided to call for 30 million. So this 30 million is lying there. Nothing is added to it until we start operation. When we start operation, every 30% of every payment goes into our account. The 70 remains in the participant account. That participant account is only used to pay genuine claims, retakaful, or commission to intermediaries, agents and brokers. Whatever is left there as surplus at the end of the period, auditors are invited, they do the audit. And Takaful is very transparent in that we have the board of directors responsible for shareholders' interests and our running efficiently. We have a Sharia board that certifies that the products we are offering are Sharia compliant. We also have now at the end of the central bank that are the regulators who can always come into your office anytime to see what you are doing. You must go by what you are licensed to do.
So if I get you correctly, I'm not sure whether what I'm about to say is right. So this 70% that is in the participants' account, which is redistributed, you know, to those that have not made any claims during the year, is that the same funds that would shareholders benefit from, or is only to the participants?
That is only to the participants. Shareholders have already told you that they are taking 30% of what you are paying us now, and that is added to their capital. But this participants fund now pays for claims, re-takaful, and commissions.
What is re-takaful?
Re-takaful is reinsurance. Reinsurance is institutions that do not insure individuals, but they insure insurance companies. You start your work today and you are 5 days old. They present a presidential jet to you to cover. You don't say, hey, we don't have capacity. No. The regulator, central bank, must have certified that you have the capacity. You have extra support from re-takaful or reinsurance, and you have the human resources capital also. You cannot take Juve, who has been in the industry for over 30 years, starting a new company in Zambia, you say, no, it's a new company. You're making a big joke. So it is like now, that zakat, let me say how useful it is. The first zakat of the first company I established was sent to the RVTH in the form of detergents, bed sheets, and towels and all that. The second zakat, I took 8 high schools with the approval of the Sharia board. Each high school, we took 5 students and gave them a scholarship. The third zakat, we took a truckload of food items to area around Basse because they had suffered a flood. It's all in the papers. I have paper extracts to that. Then the fourth zakat, we are saying we brought in widows who have suffered a loss of their breadwinners and have got large families. We supported them. And this was the time that I started now facing challenge because they thought I was doing too much in the name of Islam. And I didn't want to dilute the principle. I have a passion for it. My priority is not the profit to shareholders, but they allow it to be a long-term investment. And in good time, with Takaful, since their account is separated, once you start paying 30% into their capital, by the time they write 5 million, 30% of that is not enough for admin expenses. They write 100 million, it's getting close to managing admin expenses. By the time you are saying you're writing enough, 30% is more than what you need to pay salaries and dividend to shareholders. And the participants' account, from year 3 going onwards, they are profitable every year.
Thank you. Like we said at the beginning, it's the first time we had an experienced person like this in the studio to talk about a very unique and very mythical subject that is not always in the forefront, and that's why you can see the elaboration has took almost the first session of this program. But when we come back, we shall continue a little bit more detail of that, and then we will bring Safi on board to tell us what West Africa Takaful is doing and more on the products. Until we come your way next week, this was GCCI Business Matters, Malik M. Jallo. Thank you.
This program was funded by the European Union.